morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. This is Real News Live, and I'm your host, Mike Barrett in Seattle, Washington, joined as I always am by my partner, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, my co-host, Jennifer Falah-Doring in Hayden, Idaho. Jen, how was your weekend?
It's pretty good. We had a good time. Everybody here now, full house, made a big spread for the Super Bowl. Watch that.
How are things going with the dogs?
Well, we haven't really fixed that yet. Everybody kind of needed some time off from that for the weekend and decided we're keeping them separate, playing hide the dog. So we're rotating them, but we'll fix it. It'll get there.
You have to slowly get them comfortable with each other, or it'll just go on forever.
It's kind of hard because we're going to do this daily walk. Yeah. And everybody's schedules are different. So we're just trying to work that out, but it'll get fixed. It's working.
One walk a day sounds good. Okay, so there is massive amounts of news and things to talk about happening today that we got to get to. So what I'm going to do is just get to it. I've got slides, I've got videos, and I'm going to cut back and forth between slides and videos, and then Jen's going to give us her Gentel, because some of her Gentel, which I just saw, is about the same things I'm going to talk about. So we're going to I think this is going to be mostly a news show with not a lot of time for readings. I don't know how long we have you, but let's get into it. By the way, these are this slideshow. These are the T-shirts I'm making up for the ladies. I think Regina got her of course they're real T-shirts, so we're trying to improve on that. I'm just trying to show this to the ladies and see what they think of these different graphics. This is one, flying saucer. Of course, they're real. It's pink, so it's obviously aimed at a girl. That's one design. And then there's another design, which is, more of the flying saucer in the middle, a little bit better looking flying saucer. Of course, they're real. We're going to sell these in Roswell if I can get them made in time for the Roswell event, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. So literally a month from now. So 4 weeks we'll be in Roswell. And then there's the third design, which is, of course, they're real. Just let me know, ladies, what you think of the color. What do you think of the font? I mean, do you like the pink? Do you want me to do something besides pink? Which flying saucer picture do you like? It's like 1, 2, or 3. Let me show them to you again real quick. 1, 2, and 3. Jen, you have a thought on that or an opinion?
I think it should have 2
flying saucers, yeah.
Because you're insinuating, like the joke. You have 2 of them up there. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah. See, ladies input. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'll get, there you go. Well, I've got this. Yeah, I could just actually copy one from the other side and put it over there, so it's 2 different flying saucers. That's pretty good. I like that. Which font do you like? Do you like this one, or do you like the Impact font? Which one do you like better?
I like this one. If we could make that a little clearer and then position it so that it's like right over the boobs, and then of course they're real. That's kind of like, if we took those 2, because that one's clearer. But I like the background of the first one. Okay.
You like the background of that one. But then what I'll do is I'll steal the flying saucer from this. I'm not a Photoshop guy. I'll add this and we'll put them. Yeah, there we go. But you don't like that font. Okay, good. All right. Well, give me input over there on the side, folks, on the side. Yes, those are the Billy Meyer flying saucers. Okay. Oh, this is the video that Phil showed. This is the video that Phil showed last week. This proves the Earth is flat. No, Phil. See, this is not the horizon. This is just the air glow layer. That's the actual horizon. He says it proves it doesn't curve, but the whole thing is the curvature of the Earth is like up high, like around 30,000 feet. So this plane is descending for a landing into O'Hare Airport. So it starts out curved, and then as the video goes on for about another 10 or 15 seconds, then it flattens out because that's what happens. Anyway, so this is a slideshow I built upon. Oh my gosh, I hope this isn't my Amaranth slideshow. That would not be good. All right, we're gonna go back to a subject we've talked about before, which is this football player Damar Hamlin, who had a heart attack, cardiac arrest on the field about 3 or 4 weeks ago on Monday Night Football, more than a month ago now, and died. He died on the field. He had to be resuscitated. The story is he was resuscitated, but there's all this weirdness around him. He made a public appearance on video a couple of weeks ago now, and at the beginning of it, he takes his jersey or his foundation t-shirt and he throws it over a chair, and then he turns around and very sincerely addresses the audience, and you can see that he doesn't have any tattoos on his right arm, yet the real Damar Hamlin on his Instagram page has sleeve tattoos on both arms. Notice he doesn't have any tattoos on his hand. That's his right hand, not his left hand, but we can go back and check. And then, of course, he posted the day he made his appearance at the Bills game, the Bills playoff game, where the snow was coming down and he's hiding his face. And then he goes and poses in front of a mural of himself and posts clone. So we have all this weirdness. Well, it keeps getting weirder. Last Wednesday, as part of the NFL honors celebrations on Wednesday, he accepted an award on February the 8th, Wednesday night, and he gave a little speech. And he, I think I have that speech. Hang on a second. Let me look for it. It's on Twitter. And he had no tattoo on his left hand. And then he shows up the next night on Thursday night for the actual NFL awards, and he's got this huge, complicated tattoo all over his hand. Well, let me tell you, if somehow in the intervening 12 to 16 hours, he did get a tattoo on his hand, it would be all carved up. It would be bleeding. It would be damaged. It's usually covered by a bandage or a plastic or something for 3 or 4 days or a week after you get a tattoo. Believe me, I got a couple, and I know what it's like, and they're nowhere near as complex as those. So tattoo, no tattoo. All right, you don't believe me. Let's go out and look real quick here, Jen. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure people are going to be able to see this, so I'm going to go do a share screen, and we're going to look at my Twitter feed real quick over here. And okay, that's not what we want. We want to go to my profile. I wasn't prepared, of course. And look at the video from the other night, which is going to be pretty bizarre. Oh, here's that where the picture I just got the picture from. This is supposedly Damar Hamlin at the awards on Thursday night, and suddenly he has the tattoo that he did not have on Wednesday night. But there is a video associated with the Wednesday night event. It's just not too far down here. Let me dig it up. I know I retweeted it. I swear to God I have it. Where is it, Mike? Prove it. Come on. Nope. I don't have it there. Where is it? All right. Maybe it's here. Hang on, guys. I thought I was prepared, Jen, and I'm not prepared. So let's do that. Let's go over here and show. Sorry, it's just going to take a while to get through all this.
Oh, it's fine. Got major light going on in here. It's just got really bright in here.
Yeah,
the sun. The sun must have come out.
So I did not load that. I did not load that video for some reason. Why would you do that to yourself, Mike? But I have another video, so let's just go with the other video. I will say this: I have verified the video from Wednesday night, and it ain't him. So let's play this TikTok video. Come on. Come on, baby. Fuck. Yeah. Play that video. Oh, God damn it. See, I screwed myself up now, Jen.
That's okay.
Okay, remove the source. Fuck me, come on.
You want me to talk about the jacket?
Well, let me actually. Well, let me just show you. Let me see if I can load a different video.
Here and Damar stood up, right?
Yeah, he did. This is it right here.
This is the weirdness. Okay, that's the weirdness. Remove the source. Can I remove that source? Now I'm stuck on the video. I can't play it. Fuck. Yes, talk about the jacket. The jacket was really weird.
If you zoom into that guy's mind, different upbringing, different childhood, different person, not the same individual. In the jacket. the signaling and everything right there is all signaling to the remaining cabal. Just to say, we got this handled. This is going to be handled.
Okay.
Interesting.
There it is. Let me do it again. It's just stuck on this one video for some reason, and I don't understand why. So it's just going to take me 2 seconds. But trust me, folks, this is worth watching. So this is Damar Hamlin processing. Okay, let's put. It's like something's going on with my screen over there. The whole program went to shit since Blake Wally started streaming.
Yeah, no emotional connection.
Yeah.
To the person who was clapping his hands to the child next to him.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Damar Hamlin speaking in front of everyone where he was.
Could it be true? Is he really okay? Here, I want to show you a couple things. So here's Damar on February 8th, 2023. Looking good, looking fly. And here's Damar on February 9th with a new tattoo. And somehow with this one-day miraculous tattoo to get tattooed and healed, take note of what it is. All right, so what is this? Well, it's an astronaut. They're fucking with us. Straight up. They're straight up messing with us. Damar on February 8th, 2023. Damar February 9th, 2023. I just don't understand. And I went to leave a comment on his Instagram page, and comments have been limited. No questions allowed. Now zip it.
Okay, so
Yeah. Definitely.
That's bizarre, and if you go back to the slideshow here, the thing is that as you look at this, Jen, you can plainly see that it just doesn't seem to be the same guy, and that's the question I'm going to ask: is this the same guy? Because yesterday they did show, Damar Hamlin at the Super Bowl, sitting with the NFL commissioner. Here's Damar Hamlin, no tattoo. Here's Damar Hamlin with tattoo. And it looks to me like the football player one before the heart attack didn't. We'll get to that in a second. Did not have the tattoo, but the guy yesterday has a tattoo. So
When was that picture with the woman taken?
Huh? I don't know. But I don't think it was recent. I don't think it was.
I think that's him.
You think that's really him? That's probably before he died.
The one with the woman.
Yeah.
Now look
Over
at this
here
guy.
on the left? Yeah.
That's not the same person.
Yeah.
And the person, the integrity, the soul is different. I don't have to tell you.
So
From that guy right there in the suit.
Yeah. And so, yesterday we're sitting there watching the Super Bowl, and there he is. And it's a tattoo guy.
I'm not even sure that's the same tattoo I saw the other day.
Yeah, that's another question. So that was weird. And then he sits with the commissioner. Spends the whole game there, and kept getting weirder and weirder. So the question again is to these two guys is are either one of these two guys really Damar Hamlin? Or are they two doubles?
Yeah. There's two.
But are either one of them actually Damar is the
I don't
question.
know how they could miss that. I mean, that's stupid. Why? No, he passed away.
I don't get it.
I think it was within 3 days or something.
Right. Well, and the thing is too, Jen, is that
Yeah.
obviously for the NFL, which is sponsored by Pfizer, if they force their players to take the Pfizer vaccines, among others, and somebody died from it, that's obviously going to be a big.
So it was
big
Pfizer.
problem.
Oh
Yeah,
my God!
Pfizer
Because
was
that's
the
gonna be
sponsor.
interesting with the Gentel. Okay.
Yeah, with the Gentel. So, all right. So yesterday the Super Bowl goes on, and the question is here. There's an agenda. A lot of people were joking. Well, what's going to happen? I think there's a thing here from the Babylon Bee. What is it? Yeah, Super Bowl refs hold pregame meeting to decide which team will win. That was on the Babylon Bee yesterday because everybody can see how the officiating is happening. And the NFL has a problem. The problem is that Tom Brady, the guy on the left, is now retired, sitting around in his underwear in Miami, taking selfies on his Instagram page, and they don't have anybody to replace him. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, also a cheater, by the way. Read my article. I posted it before about how Brady did cheat to deflate football. So they want to replace him with this guy, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, in a lot of ways, is better because they think he's more marketable even than Tom Brady because he's half black. Of course, he calls himself black. And we have a black national anthem and a bunch of other bullshit. And everybody's like, well, this Mahomes guy, he makes a lot of sense as the next guy that we're going to promote. And there's literally already people saying stuff like he's the great. Oh, he's going to be the greatest of all time. Well, first of all, he's played in 3 Super Bowls, which you got to give him some credit for. He was absolutely terrible in the first 2, and he was decent, pretty good yesterday. But the bottom line is that the game came down to a play which was decided by the referees. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. Here's the play in question yesterday. Kansas City and the Eagles on the left or the top. And this is a game from the 49ers and the Seahawks in 2019. So they called a penalty on the Eagles player and didn't call anything on the 49ers player. And they were both in critical games at critical times. I just want to show you the play really, really quickly. So I'm going to turn off the slideshow. I'm going to show you the play really quickly. What the call was is that there was less than 2 minutes to play in the game, 1:54. The Chiefs were the game was tied. It was a very even game. The Chiefs were down at about the 20-yard line, and it was 3rd down and 8, and the Eagles stopped them. But oh no, there's a penalty flag for defensive holding, which gave the Chiefs the ball and a new first down, new set of downs, and a chance to run the clock down to literally almost 0, 8 seconds, and kick the game-winning field goal. A call like that, in a situation like that, hands the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, it hands it to them, hands down, and the referees know that when they make a call or don't make a call. And there have been plenty of occasions, as I pointed out with my little Seahawks video there, where they just stuff their flags and let the players play. This is the call from yesterday.
Worst case scenario, you'll see James Bradbury. They're going to say he grabs him. He's got his left hand on his back. I don't know.
Let's play it again. Let's just keep playing it. Let's loop the sucker.
Worst case scenario, you'll see James Bradbury. They're going to say he grabs him. He's got his left hand on his back. I don't know. My worst case scenario, you'll see James Bradbury. They're going to say he grabs him. He's got his left hand on his back. I don't know.
So he didn't stop his motion at all. He didn't hold on to him.
Didn't stop his motion at all. Didn't hold on to him. First of all,
this happens on thumb is up. That's not grabbing.
Yeah, this happens on exactly. The thumb is up. That's a good observation, Jen, and I'm going to use that on Twitter today. Look at how his thumb is up like that. He's not
humans
grabbing.
Use their thumb to grab things.
Exactly.
You don't grab like this.
First of all, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, contact is allowed. The contact was within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, so it should have been ignored on that basis. Secondly, didn't significantly inhibit him. The ball was overthrown way over his head, and here's the difference that this call would have made or this non-call would have made. The Chiefs would then have had to kick a field goal to take a 3-point lead, but that would have given the Eagles the ball back with about 1 minute and 54 seconds to play, with a chance to go down and score a touchdown and win the game. And the officials' call made absolutely sure that did not happen. So, that's the next thing. So why does this matter? Why, Jen, is this important? And I started thinking about that yesterday. Why would they make it so obvious? And again, all over Twitter, The only people defending that call are, sports writers and broadcasters whose money, whose career depends on the NFL. Oh, well, the Eagles didn't, the Chiefs scored on all 3 drives in the second half. That's why they lost the game, not some referee's call. I'm sorry. That doesn't make any difference. The game was tied. The game was dead even, and it was tied, and the outcome was decided by the officials. And again, everybody was waiting for the refs to decide who was supposed to win. Now, I think this decision was made either in New York and NFL headquarters, in the commissioner's booth with dead fake Weekend with Damar Hamlin sitting next to the commissioner right there, or it was made by the TV networks and the Vegas bookies. But here's the point that matters, I think. I think that this was allowed to happen to a certain extent because of the fact that what it proves is that your sports and the satanic Rihanna halftime show, your sports and your entertainments are every bit as corrupt as your courts and your politicians. And that's the message you should take. And that's why I think it's important. So, Jen, I just want to know if you have any idea who made the call on that one, let me know. But
it's not that I have any idea who made the call, but I did notice a few things watching the game in between cooking things. There were a couple touchdowns that were just too easy for Kansas City. I think there was wasn't it them who the guy just kind of walked in
twice. They were just and twice.
Nobody's around.
Nobody.
And then I was like, that's something like that you could choreograph. Where look at that, they just got 2 touchdowns real quick and caught up. And there was another one. And I think it was the quarterback that ran in. But I did notice a difference in the calls, and the announcers, they were slipping up. One of them, and I don't know if it was the panel that was talking when before we came back from half or something. He was saying, well, they painted this whole field. It's so slippery. I don't know why they did that. And then the announcers during the game were talking about, they're out there fixing all the divots and all these cleats that they have to wear. And so everybody's wearing all these cleats and changing the cleats because they painted the field. Now, I don't know how that ties in, but that was interesting. I picked up on that. And it just seemed like when they did score, I mean, most of the time, I think all the guys are playing their game, but I think a lot of the calls, I think they wanted Kansas City to win this. Now, how you could pull that off, and if it ever works, sometimes it does. It was just interesting the way they were fighting hard for this game the whole time, and the guy just like all of a sudden nobody's there, and he just walks right in, and he knew it.
Yep.
He knew it. He knew he had time. He stopped, and then he walked in, and it was like,
they're trying to make this Mahomes guy out to be the greatest. They want him to replace Tom Brady as the poster boy.
Just as an observer, one thing I noticed about him, when you looked at him, his expressions, he would get excited about something, and then he'd go like this. It was just odd. It was just odd. He is odd. And I'm like, that's strange.
I think he's a really good player. I think he's vastly overrated athletically and many other things. And he walks like a girl, and he runs like a girl, and he talks like Kermit the Frog. So I don't think it's really
There's something
going
wrong
to work.
There. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to be mean to people. All this time, every time Brett and I have ever seen it, we actually were talking about it yesterday. I said, there's something about him that's off, and there's something that I don't like, and I don't mean doing that to people. I don't want to judge somebody, but there's just something. And he goes, me too. Yeah. I can't place it. There's something wrong. There's something. I just think that he is a very good ball player, but they're useful idiot, so to speak. To me, he'll do exactly what he's told.
It's the over-the-top praise for this guy from the time he stepped on the field. It was ridiculous. They were calling him the greatest of all time when he was a rookie. And it's like, he's not the greatest of all time. He's not that great. I don't think he's any better than Russell Wilson, who gets just absolutely trashed. But Russell is a Christian, so maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
And there's always, I've noticed when he does talk to the press, there's always somebody standing there. There's always a teammate that speaks over him or something, and I'm just like,
yeah. There's something wrong there.
Yeah, like, did they ever take his test in college? I mean, what's going on here? You know, I'm not trying. You know, I don't want to be like that, but I noticed that.
Well, I mean, I think
it was noticeable.
I think he's good, and people saying the Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, I thought he was better than Mahomes yesterday by a significant margin. And it's not that I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I do. I just think there's an agenda to make him. But here's what I want to ask that I'm hoping: did the events of yesterday help wake up a significant portion of the population or not? Because I mean, there are some sportscasters and stuff saying that call's ridiculous. Why would they do that? Or did it not make any difference? They just get away.
And you heard it. There were the two different guys. There was one like saying, "Well, oh, that looks like it was, you know, that wasn't it. He didn't make it." And then there's one saying, "Yeah, he did." So they were in conflict. Most everybody that was watching the Super Bowl yesterday was probably drunk, so probably not. But I was watching the halftime show, and now my little Katie, she's not little anymore, but she used to love Rihanna when she was little. She used to dance to it, and it was so cute. Of course, I knew nothing, and I thought she was in hot pink the whole time. Okay, and I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't satanic. All right, everything's fine. But then I noticed, and then Katie's like, no, it's red. It's this TV. It's red. I'm like, ugh. Then I noticed she's lip syncing the whole time.
Yeah.
Because she kept dropping the mic and turning her head like, oh, I'm having so much fun, and her voice is still singing.
Yeah.
The whole time, and I don't understand why we have to have such weird messages in these. You know, why can't you just have people in like regular clothes dancing and stuff? They all have to be in some weird white uniform tracksuit. You know, if there was a message there, I didn't really get it. It wasn't as blatant
Kiss would be
as
less
it normally
satanic than Kiss would be less satanic than that shit we went through yesterday. And the same thing with the Grammys last week, and it's just bizarre. I mean, it's just absolutely bizarre what's going on. So I don't know. I mean, I do think it's and then, you know, of course, all the usual NFL types. Oh, that was a fantastic halftime show. No, it wasn't.
It was boring.
No, it was fantastic.
She didn't do anything new.
U2 after 9/11. That was a fantastic Super Bowl halftime show. It's like it's just gotten more and more deep state hip hop rap criminal shit over and over and over again on the Super Bowl halftime shows, to the point where everybody watch the Puppy Bowl. Okay.
Did you see though that somebody's got control of the commercials? Okay, because there were Jesus commercials. I don't know if it's just my area.
Yeah. No.
But I'm like, here we go. Yeah. Let's show all these people fighting and blah 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 blah. And then it's like, you know, and then it ended, you know, promoting Jesus.
Jesus loved pedophiles, guys. That's what it was
really?
Practically.
Did I not get
no,
that?
I didn't say that, but it was practically.
I thought it was positive, and then I was thinking, you would never have seen that kind of commercial years ago, years ago, and so I was hopeful with that. I was like.
Well, I think it's actually pushing the LGBTQRSTYZ agenda and trying to use Jesus. That's what I think it is, but I may be wrong. Maybe it's.
And then he comes out with the jacket, which totally pissed me off. I mean, when I saw that, and I'm sure they'll try to cover it up like, well, I got this jacket because some kid in a hospital drew this for me. No, you didn't. Mm-hmm. Okay. That is serious Jesus mocking right there. And what's the paper doll reference? I feel like that has something to do with human trafficking or something.
Yeah, probably.
But did you see the face on it? If you look into the teeth on that, that's strategic. That's not a child didn't draw that. Child draws Jesus. It's like a stick man with dark hair and a beard. Okay? Yeah. It doesn't look like that. Yeah. If that's a kid that drew that Jesus, psychiatric evaluation, okay? Because if you zoom into that face and those teeth, they're actually think there's a actually I think there's a white rabbit in there.
Tony said, what I got is she looked like a vagina touching herself, and all those dancers in white were sperm. Yeah, probably. Sick visuals. Yeah, probably. Probably couldn't go overtly, But that's what I thought. I saw
she's pregnant again?
Well, I saw all these dancers in white blobs, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be weird. Let's watch the Puppy Bowl. It was pretty weird stuff.
Yeah, you really want to tell people you're pregnant again. Come out all messed up with like baby sit up on you because you just had a baby and everything else, and look all messed up, and it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you can't get it together. Now tell people you're pregnant again.
Did you have another thought?
Let me see that picture.
Which one?
The picture of the jacket just pissed me off so bad.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have the jacket people were talking about.
If you zoom in on those teeth. Oh, it's blurry on my screenshot. Damn it. Okay, zoom in on the teeth. Somewhere in there. Now, why is this there's something about this wrap around Jesus's waist as well, and it goes off to the side. I think that is somehow a face. Because I'm getting eyes, nose, mouth, chin here. You zoom in, and the eye, the blue eye might be a symbol. Look into the teeth.
Yeah, they're horrible. Yeah, here, let me, I think I have maybe I can do a screen share here. Let's do that. Can you see that a little better or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, the teeth are rotted and all uneven and decrepit, and
you know what's interesting is it makes Jesus look really dead, doesn't it? And guess what? The Pope couldn't wear the crucifix, so he made up his own. And it's basically Jesus laying there like this, or standing there like this with all these sheep around him, and he looks dead. Okay, this is a symbol for death. Okay.
He's mocking Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a mocking of Jesus. This is a symbol, and I asked Gabriel about it because it's really upset me. I mean, I said Damar Hamlin's jacket. He said it's not him. He is passed. It's a look-alike. Showed up with the jacket to show the cabal that is watching that they have the situation handled with the family and the double. He will not play again.
Yeah. Yeah, he will absolutely disappear.
But that was a signal, as well as him, doing that the first time, and everything else is all a signal. Now, I don't know what the tattoo represents.
All right.
Cue the alien invasion, maybe it is.
Speaking of that, yes, moving on. Jen, I pulled up some old Gentel. I couldn't find the exact reference. But I remember you talking about Watch the Skies. I would say a month to 6 weeks ago. Watch the Skies. Something in the sky, right? And then there was explosions. There were 12:28. Gabriel said explosions in the news. 1/3/23. There will be more explosions in the news, which I find fascinating. And we're gonna get to all this. And then there was something here where Jesus said, you said, when will the changes begin? And he pointed up to the sky, and he said something about the sky. And you took that to mean a full moon. And then there's Q post 1182, sky event, 864, eyes in the sky, the sky, the sky, the sky. What did we have last week, Jen? We had the Chinese weather balloon, which was totally not spying. Totally not spying.
Eyes in the sky.
Eyes in the sky. So then, of course, we have this whole Project Bluebeam thing, which is that a guy said that there was a project called Project Bluebeam, which is going to simulate using holograms a fake alien invasion. When they got to the end, you have Werner von Braun telling his personal secretary, supposedly on his deathbed, the Russians are almost over. After the Russians, it's going to be terrorists. And after the terrorists, the last thing is going to be an alien invasion. So the whole concept of Project Bluebeam, so there's memes going all over the place. Situation update 2/11/23. It's a false flag alien invasion imminent to distract us from major disclosures. And if you enjoyed 9/11 and COVID-19, wait till you see what's coming next. You know, it's like next, brought to you by the people who brought you COVID-19. So then, after the Chinese spy balloon was shot down on what? Sunday? Monday? Then this next week, on Friday, there was an object shot down in Alaska. We just shot it down. We don't know what it was. We shot it down. And then Saturday, in the Yukon territories in Canada, an F-16 shot something down. And then then later on Saturday, they closed off the airspace over Montana where Candace is. And there was a radar anomaly that was not detected. And, who had alien PSYOP on their 2023 bingo? And people are openly talking about this. By the way, I have a photo of the downed Alaska UFO, and there it is. Right there, folks. And then we also got pictures in, Jen. We also got pictures in of the Michigan UFO, because there was one over Michigan that was then shot down or attacked. And there's the picture of the Michigan UFO. Looks like C-3PO and R2-D2. Here's the thing. This object in the background supposedly is the real object, people are saying. Looks like an Airstream trailer over on its side in the snow. And this shiz just kept going on, and now I have a bunch of videos to share with you. Let me turn this off. And then I get a video last night from somebody, I think in Texas.
What is that? If I go missing,
this is a joke thing that's connected to that. So,
also
turn that off. But then there's another video, believe it or not. I got another one of something, I think in the U.S. being shot down. Yesterday, Sunday. Might have been in Saudi Arabia or something, but then last night, again, Saturday, Sunday, last night in Paris, France, we had this. We had a meteor explode over Paris, France. Okay, all of this stuff happening all within about 24 to 36 hours. Bam, bam, bam. We're shooting at stuff. We're shooting it down.
I think that one was authentic. I feel this one's authentic. I don't feel comfortable with the other two.
Yeah. Well, I think that the
picture of the object on the snow. That one definitely got was fake.
The thing is that one of them, the one could have been a flock of birds that glow in the dark, could have been Starlink, could have been something like that. Here's the point. The point is that let's just go look at the military briefing that was given yesterday by the military. Okay. Here we go. Post-millennial General Glenn Van Herk is asked whether the Pentagon has ruled out aliens regarding the objects that have been shot down.
Can't hear anything.
Did you hear it?
No. Still can't hear it. Am I the only one?
Okay, so you have the balloon shot down. You have something over Alaska shot down. You have something in Canada shot down. You have something in Michigan shot down. You have something over Montana. And you have some U.S. general saying, Jen, I haven't ruled out aliens.
Right.
And you have and you have all this Project Bluebeam stuff. So what the and you told us like 3, 4, 6 weeks ago to keep our eyes on the skies, that there was something was going to happen in the skies. And I don't know.
What he said actually was the only way you're going to know what's going on is if you watch the skies. That's the only way you're going to know what's going on right now. So he said that a while ago. So the situation update with Archangel Gabriel today, Jantel for 2/13/23.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Before you go there, I wanted to do one more thing, because there is one thing about the financial thing, which you're going to talk about, which is that on Friday, a guy named TNT Tony, who I don't like and I don't really trust, but he does have some contacts, said that over the weekend, the plan is that the dinar will come out at either 11.40, 11.30, or 1,000 to the dollar. And that will be the signal that that's the next thing before they go to 1-to-1 or a full revaluation like 322. And then Wolvie posted yesterday, he posted this, which is $1 was equal to 737 Iraqi dinars, which would be a very substantial change. What we want is not 1 to 737, we want 1-to-1, or we want 322 to 1 dollar. So I said, which would be very substantial change. And this is just one of the many sides most show of the dollar equaling 600 up to 1,070 dinars. So 737, I do seem to remember Phil saying something about Boeing, and a 737 is associated with Boeing. So I thought, is that a hint? I don't know, but that's everything that we have in terms of information. And the question is, did anything really happen in Iraq with their rate change this weekend? And I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you run on the Gentel now that I've done with all the shit that's going on.
Okay, well, I'm just going to start from the beginning here so I don't miss anything. And so, situation update, Archangel Gabriel, 2/13/23. What are the balloons and why? He said it's Space Force collecting data from remaining cabal locations set up for insurgency, black hat militant groups in locations off the grid are being monitored. And so when you said it shot it down, which military shot it down? And so that's what's going on right now. They're setting up, they've been flooding people in this country, and they're going out into places like Alaska, or they're going over into probably Michigan, Montana, and they're monitoring these huge camps. They're out in the middle of nowhere that nobody sees.
Yeah.
Because they're off grid. They can't do it. The Space Force can't do it normally, so they're sending in these balloons, whatever they are, saying, "Hey, we know what you're doing. You know, you're being watched." So they are monitoring those So it's basically the cabal's last-ditch effort, besides the alien invasion, is to cue the riots and to send these people in. And so that's being monitored right now. So they must be planning to do something. We always saw that was when the EBS would happen, all that. So that's what's going on with these balloons. And if they were shot down, then they were either done with them, or it was, the other part of the military who's really not on board. So I do think that there might be two sides involved.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that it was the cabal shooting down white hat observation balloons? Is that what you think it is, or vice versa?
I'm really not sure who shot it down, but the talk about shooting it down makes me ask which military.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I feel like the Space Force is in charge, collecting data, right? And so these why would it just be allowed to float all the way across? You know, if it was from another country, it'd be immediately stopped. There's no way they could even get that close to us. This is collecting data from the remaining cabal minions in these camps, these collections of them out in the middle of nowhere, and that are off the grid and waiting, ready to go. So I don't know how they signal them or what they look for, but they've got certain things that they're waiting for to move into position. And if they're in Montana, they're freaking stupid. Okay, because if they come anywhere near, just give everybody's so bored. Just give them a reason around here, okay? It's crazy. I just see it now. It comes out of the woodwork and the hillbilly music starts playing and everybody's got their guns and they're like, woohoo, we got something to do. The jacket I already told you about, Damar Hamlin's jacket. It's not him. Right. He's passed away. It seems like it was a few days after the whole incident. Lookalike showed up with the jacket to show the cabal that's watching that they have the whole situation. Like, we've got this. It's handled. Don't worry. And who would that be signaling to?
Yeah.
The people that made him get the jab or the people that made the jab, right? So that's interesting because I didn't even make that connection until he said something about it. And I've got information about what's coming next with people that made the jab. Now, the rate for the RV, I asked, okay? Once again, personally involved. The rates for the dinar will continue to fall. So, like from, like, it's like 1,300, 900, 600, 400, and then he said Wednesday, okay? Really tired of this whole thing. Wednesday, there's a rate closure. But the rates on the screens will still be different from in the public eye because it's out of the country redemption exchange. So what they're doing is trying to get the people in the country to give them, get dinar and get rid of the U.S. dollars. And they really have to do something to encourage people outside of the country to do it. And something like that right now is not going to do it. People will sit it and wait. So, the RV is still on for February. As far as timing goes. I said, what's next? And he said, financial crash. But more like next week, or it seemed like it was not right now. But it's coming. Later on in the week, possibly. And I said, what else? And he said, there's a flood of bad press and info about Pfizer, he said, and the Biden administration. So that's coming. I don't know what that's going to look like, but something comes out. He said a flood. So I don't know if investigations, they're going to uncover a lot of stuff, or it's just going to be flooded into the internet, or what. But I feel like it's mainstream level. Okay. A bad press. And that's basically it for today.
Well, that's enough given everything else that's going on. So, all right. So, the rates thing, I think, is really interesting. Rates for the dinar will continue to rise and fall. 1,300, 900, 600, 400. And then Wednesday, it should close.
Now, those numbers I put out there, that was just me showing you what I mean. Those aren't, he didn't say those numbers. I just wrote them out like that.
Right. As an example.
Yeah.
And it could be the 737, 737. They're trying to get a rate that's high enough, and that's actually higher than 1,430 or whatever it was, to get they're trying to do that to get the people in Iraq to turn their dollars in and take dinars. And the only way they're going to do that is if they convince them that the dinar is soon going to be worth more than the dollar, which is what they are actively trying to do. And the other part of it, I think it's really important, is what Jen said about the rate you're going to get on the screen is not what you're going to hear about in the public. So if Nader from the Middle East comes on and says, oh, it's only 86 cents or it's only $1 or it's $3.22, that's all you're going to hear about in public. Because they don't want anybody to know that folks who know about it are going to be doing better than that when we go to the redemption center or the bank.
Right, because they don't want people to go into the redemption center, possibly for other currencies, and sit down and say, what's my dinar rate? And they say, well, it's, $1. And they're like, oh, I'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be big enough on the screen when you're sitting there to get you to do it.
That's
and
right.
They know that.
So whatever is public is going to be less than what you're going to get when you go to the bank or the redemption center. That's the important thing. And remember, Jen said the rates are set. There's not going to be negotiation. You're not going to try to talk them into more or whatever. You're going to get what they're giving for those particular currencies, which will be substantial, which will be enough to get you to go, okay, here you go. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. That's the plan. So,
are they putting out new dinar?
Yeah, they will be putting out new lower denomination dinar. Yes. New dinar to replace these ones that have been around for 20 years.
Because I've been trying to figure out I mean, I don't know anything about this, but I'm thinking, how do you make this simple? Why do they even care that this old dinar is in the hands of other people in other countries and things like that? Because I think once they put out the new dinar, they would still have to honor it? And it may be really worth a lot of money?
Yes.
I don't know. I could be wrong on that. It's just a hunch.
They will sunset it. Well, here's the thing. They say, well, we're going to sunset this currency. We're not going to give you anything for it anymore. But there are other people who say that you can't do that.
I don't think so.
That if it says 25,000 dinar on there, even if you hold it for 100 years, you should be able to go in to the issuing bank or entity or government and say, I want my 25,000 dinar at whatever the value is today.
And we're not dealing with a country and an area of the world that's been at war forever that's going to say, you know what, we should really do the right thing, give these people their money for the old dinar. They don't care. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a solid, concrete reason as to why they want it all back in the country, because I think they're going to do currency. And I think that if you still have it, it's going to be worth a lot of money. And so they're going to give you a good enough rate on that screen since you get to turn it in.
That you will part with it so they can then burn it. And yeah, it would be like, I don't know if the U.S. I know the U.S. used to issue $1,000 bills. They might have even issued $1 million bill. They don't want you to bring $1 million bill in 10 years later. And now it's worth $57 billion. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I quite have it yet. It'll come to me. But I think it has something to do with that. It's about them and what they have to pay out, and that this is going to somehow if these are still in circulation, it'll throw off the amount of the new dinar or something, or the value or something. They have to get it in. So if that is true and they have to get it in, you're not going to get some piddly shit rate when you go in there and look at the screen, because everybody's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this.
They have agreed that these notes are worth so much. You can buy oil. They're oil credits, let's say. You can buy oil for $40 a barrel. Well, if the price of oil is $99 a barrel and you bring this in, they're going to lose money when they give you that exchange rate. They will lose. So they want to get that all off the street, fulfill those contracts, which were set up back in 2003, and get that all off the books. That's what's going on. It's the value in
Yeah,
in oil.
and because let's say 1 million dinar is now 5 dinar.
Yeah.
And somebody comes in with that to their banks or something, do they have to give them the value in the new dinar? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm still not. There's like a block there. I'm not quite getting it because I'm not knowledgeable on this subject. But it has something to do with that. But that gives me hope with this rate thing because people are like, oh, what if it doesn't happen, or what if it does happen and it's a nothing burger and all that. There's a reason why. They want to do this now, and they don't want to do it again because it's so hard to get it done.
Yeah, they don't want to do it again.
But they have to make it worth your while. And they don't want half people going, yeah, I don't know, I don't really like that.
I'm just gonna hang on.
Dave and I hang on to this, and they're like, well,
Dave and I discussed it yesterday. What if it was $1? Well, I'll take the amount that I have over $1 million. I'll take 100,000 in. Say, okay, I'll take 100,000, pay off all my bills, buy a new SUV, and move to Vegas, move to an apartment.
So they don't want to do that. They don't want people doing that. Say, oh well, I'll do half now. They
don't
want that.
They want you to
it all
give it
in.
all to them. Right.
So that's why I think when we go there and see these rates on the screen, that they are going to be very good. Maybe not. I don't know if it's going to be what I said because that was pretty good. I'm sticking to it though.
Yeah. Well, the director of the Central Bank of Iraq, who came up with this whole plan, agrees with your number, Jen. He publicly stated it in 2008. So you got some good backing on your.
And I didn't know that. And the reason I like that number so much is because the dong I got while I was doing the dishes, and I heard it. And I'm like, it was like, what? But I actually heard that. And but this, I asked. So if somebody had 250,000, and they were to go, how much would they get when they go to exchange for $1 million? Oh, what's that? Because I'm stupid and I need to use my calculator. Well, that's 16. That's how I got that. So, and then I come back to him, and he goes, "Well, that makes sense because
I just missed 11:11, Jen. Damn it!
No, you didn't. It says 11:10.
I know, but I just missed it. Should be.
Well, isn't it coming?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think God's saying you're really. Maybe what they're saying is you're really close. You're really close.
I think so. I think I am close on these theories of mine, and the one that we talked about with Mark when he came on.
Yeah. So before we get out of this, I got to ask a personal question, which is going to be fraught with difficulty because it's personal, right? And I have an investment in it, and Jen has an investment in it, and all this stuff. But so I got my February red dot around finances. I just want to ask one question. I had a court hearing last week, which I won. And, now it pops up. There's 11:11. I didn't touch it. It just popped up. But, okay. I had a court hearing last week. And I should get a decent amount of money out of this. It was... should I tell you the details? All I'm going to say is that... if you don't tell the truth about me, you shouldn't. You should be careful. If you're out there spreading lies about me, you should be careful. But it's going to be theoretically, when everything's said and done and lawyers are paid, I'll have a reasonable chunk of change. Let's put it that way. But not anywhere near as much as I would dream. So I just want to ask you real quick: is the red dot? Was that what you saw for February, or is it something bigger for February? For me, personally, just ask for me. I already know the answer, but
well, if you remember, there was more than one dot in February. There was a small one. I don't think that you received that, but that could have been a regular thing.
No, compared to the revaluation, it would be a small thing by comparison. Absolutely. Small dot in February, and I may not get paid until March on that one.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Didn't we say we also saw something in March?
Yeah.
Okay. Red dot in February, Gabriel. it's the RV, you said.
Okay, all right. Okay. Thank God.
Now, if it don't happen in February, it's not my fault. I'm trying, people.
Well, no.
I'm trying my hardest every day.
Jennifer,
I heard some weird
sounds
outside, like this vroom, vroom.
I was over at my friend Kurt's house last night. I was over at my friend Kurt's house last night. Dave and I have known Kurt since we were kids, little kids. Watched Super Bowl. And he said, I don't really buy this whole psychic thing. He goes, but that Jen, he goes, it's really interesting how often she's right and how you think she's wrong and she missed it. But then 2 or 3 weeks later, it comes up like the sky thing. Remember? Look at the sky. Well, what started happening this week? Sky. So I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to accept it. And I'm just going to say the thing you have to remember about psychics is that the closer we are to what's being asked about, the more accurate it's going to be. Jen's going to be less accurate 6 months out, a year out, 2 years out, 5 years out than she is today. And what's going to happen next week? That's going to be way more accurate. That's just because of the nature of free will and human beings changing their minds. So, let's phrase it this way. No, let's phrase it this way. As it stands today, as of right now, it's on, bitches. It's still on for February, bitches.
There you have it.
Everything points to it. Everything points to it. Everybody who knows anything about this that doesn't know Jen from Adam or Eve is saying the same thing. And Jen was way ahead of them.
Well, I really try to keep my connection clean, as many faults as I have. But you guys have to understand that I'm not just like a psychic sitting around. I'm not like I'm better than anybody, but it's different. Because, and I'm going to tell you something that I told somebody that I tried to pinpoint when talking to Jesus and the angels really, really started, and the healings and stuff. And I remember I was in the Catholic reconciliation classes because I was having my kids catch up on their First Communion and all the way up to being, and then they said, well, if I have to do it, did you get confirmed? And I said, well, no, my parents got divorced. I didn't get confirmed. So, well, why do we have to do it if you don't have to do it? And so I said, I'll do it too then. Smarty pants, let's all go. Be like, fun. So I did it too. So I'm sitting in there in this adult class, which was fun, by the way. And then so it's like this months-long thing to become confirmed. It's just like you're converting to be Catholic. And so they have this session where you go into the church web in the pews and the deacons are in there and the priest is in there. He's going to come around and wash everybody's feet. Okay, I don't like anybody touching my feet. All right. And I felt bad for him. I'm like, oh, right, I'm going to have a little arthritic 100-year-old priest get on his little knees and wash my feet. No, I'll pass. And I'm sitting like in the back row. There's like 45 people in there, 40 people, something like that. And the deacon's wife, who never says anything, sitting in the front row, just quiet. And this whole thing is about becoming Jesus' disciple. Okay, and I didn't get that. I'm just sitting in the back of the class thinking about what we're going to have for dinner after this is all over. And she stands up, turns around, looks dead at me, and says, who wants to be Jesus' disciple? And it was ding. I'm like, oh, I get it. And was totally out of character for me because usually I just like sink down and go, she was not talking to me. Like I just stood right up and I said, I do. And on that day, when I look back and I try to pinpoint every time that I've gotten a different, quote, ability or whatever, there was a choice. There was a decision that was made. And so if you want to call me psychic, you want to call me a medium, you want to call me whatever, I am Jesus' disciple. And everybody else's who had their feet washed that day. And I just simply chose to mean it. And so when I get this information, I talk to God, I talk to Jesus, I talk to his angels and his helpers, and I do my absolute best to help people move forward in a positive direction. And if it's talking about the RV, if it's keeping you up, if it's getting answers about your health or your dog or your mom, that's what I do. So I'm not categorized with people who took classes and did all kinds of stuff like that. I do things my own way, but that's basically it. Yeah. Jesus' disciple.
By the way, if you should get any references to football or the Seahawks or 2013-14 and the Seahawks this week for me, let me know.
Yeah, I hear laughing.
there's a
consider your episode at the freaking Fred Meyer lately. I think you need to talk to Jesus if you want that information.
Well, I'm Jesus is kind of in the doghouse with me right now, and so is God. But they know what the joke is. I'll just tell you what the joke is. The joke is I said, in 2005, the Seahawks got the Super Bowl stolen from them. That was when I first began to realize sports were really fixed. And the only thing that made it better was when we won the Super Bowl in 2013, actually played in 2014. That made it better. So the way I felt last week, the thing that's going to make it better is if I win the Super Bowl this month or later this month, then that will make it all better. So Jesus knows what I'm referring to. And that is the same dream I had where I'm racing to the finish line at the Indy 500 and I pass the last guy to take the lead. So that makes me feel good. All right. So I'm glad that they're laughing because they get the reference. 663 people in the live stream today. I would like to remind everybody that these will be taken down off of YouTube almost as soon as the show is completed to avoid the censorship pen that we have to deal with on a regular basis. Also, I'm going to be on with Mark Z this week on Thursday on Whiskey and Wisdom. I'm going to do a little extra show with Mark. That'll be fun. But do not forget that if you actually need to rewatch the show at a later time, you should be here live like everybody else. But go to mikebarrett.blogspot.com. It will always be replayed there, or you can click on that and go directly to the Rumble site where you can set up an account and subscribe to Real News Live, 2.62K followers. We picked up 1.2K followers since the other day. And watch the show directly there, or just go to mikebarrett.blogspot.com where things are always going to be linked, as long as that site stays up. And so far, it's stayed up, so we're pretty happy about that. And please do not forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, at thecbdgurus.com. I've got the pain cream on the way. Matt and Lucas have done a wonderful job for us. They love our audience. They love what you guys have been doing, all the products you've been buying, and they're happy to give something back in return. This is the perfect commercial arrangement. It's commerce. It's them giving something to us and us giving something to them, and you can get it at a discount. Click on the wholesale tab, go down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, no S, no capital A, all lowercase, ALIEN, and pick up this week's specials. And they will throw in some Bolivar and some dinar. They've been throwing in 500 dinar notes into all these orders. If they're over $25 or $50 or $75, you have different tiers, but you got all kinds of cool stuff you can pick up here. The full spectrum oils, the Delta 8 gummies. I've got some fun stories about that. The super immunity formula, the Miracle Gold, and my personal favorite, the pet oil, the X-Freeze roll-on pain gel. I'm going to get that for Dave Barra with his bad arm. The weight loss, pick up the weight loss pills. Combine that with a weight loss reading from Jen, and I want to see what the results are. I should try it myself. I should experiment on myself. I just haven't got. I take so many pills and vitamins these days. It's like I don't want to take another one. But go to the CBD Gurus. Go to the wholesale tab. Select Might Be Wholesale and type in ALIEN and make them and us very, very happy. Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at jenniferfalad.com this week? I see the psychic development class is still up there.
I didn't do anything because I was busy with the family, and I have so many people, and now the kids that live here are social and they bring people over, and so I was cooking all weekend. So go get it. It's still there. You could still get on my list or group of students for my private coaching classes. Now, within these private coaching classes, I'm going to leave it up for a little bit. I think I just book them out a little bit more. I just didn't want to book up my whole schedule with that and not be able to make any money to pay bills, someday. Yeah. But this is not just me. I mean, I've got a wealth of 25 years experience with this stuff, and I've learned a lot because I'm pretty open-minded. I listen to people, and I learn a lot from personal experience. But this is tailor-making our coaching sessions according to your experiences, what you'd like to achieve, what you've experienced before, determining what your strengths are, along with the archangels and Jesus. Okay, so it's not just me. You got like a team of coaches going on with this. So this is going to be all my classes and 4 1-hour coaching sessions that we schedule bi-weekly or monthly. Now, if you buy this deal and you've already got the classes because you donated for the free healing giveaway, I'll just give you 6 sessions. Okay, and anybody who's got them right now who's thinking, oh, I've got 4 bi-weeklies and I really like to continue, go and get it, and I'll give you 6 more. Okay, so we'll just keep that up for a little while because I don't have another sale to put up. We still have the medical intuitive reading, 30 minutes.
That's cheap.
On sale. Yeah, just very cheap. And the deal to make $100 donation and then I give the healings away on the show and you get all the classes, that's over. Okay? But
all right.
Other than that, we've got readings. Everybody has to email me afterwards. And I do have, like Mike said, the weight loss. If you're coming up on your last weight loss healing, they're down there. You can get 1 or you can get 3 months. Most people get 3 months. And that's what we have. But yeah, so anybody who's already signed up for the coaching sessions, you can get that deal and get and it's less than an hour reading at this price. It's like $99 hour session, and you could get 6 to add on.
You know, I think I have some of the weight loss capsules in my cupboard that the guys gave me as a sample that I should.
Did they tell you how Did they tell you how cannabis helps lose weight? Because that goes against everything I know to be true. I mean, I don't understand that.
Yeah. When I would get stoned, all I would do is get stoned, giggle like a schoolgirl for an hour, and then eat a pizza and go to sleep. That's why.
Well, maybe when I was back in college.
Yeah.
But
eat a pizza and go to sleep, or eat 2 bags of Doritos and go to sleep, and that was it. So, by the way, I have a love button, Cash App, $MBARA33, and Zelle is MBARA33 at msn.com. Zelle or Cash App, and I do appreciate contributions. I've been getting some lately. Thank you guys very much for those. I will try to go through a list here one of these shows and say thank you to everybody directly. Personally, of course, I don't know whether it's okay to say your name or not, so I'm kind of like, what do I do? But I do appreciate it, and it does help. It does help pay the bills and keep everything going. And by the way, Jen, I have a question for the Angels. I certainly hope when it comes to the football thing that they were laughing with me and not laughing at me. So I'm going to just say, please make it that you were laughing with me, not laughing at me. That would be better. All right.
I don't think they would laugh at.
Well, they already said it's the RV. Shut up, Mike. So I'm just going to trust that. Okay. All right, great halftime show. The officiating has never been better, said Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell, it may not be a pedo criminal, I don't know, but he's one of the people I can't wait to go to jail for his corruption because he is utterly corrupt. So I can't stand him. And football needs to be back to the masculine game that it used to be. Mariah's here. Greatest show on earth. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Jen, how are the dogs doing? Did we already
Everybody's alive. Nobody's killed each other. We've been keeping them separated. But I think that we're letting her dogs go out in the backyard. And so that their smell is everywhere and they're kind of calming down.
Yeah.
That this is normal. And,
I don't know if they have
What?
I was going to say, I don't know if they have these for dogs, but there is pheromones for cats. Feel Away is the product. And if you're having strife and conflict between cats, you basically just take this oil and you plug it into it. It plugs into a power outlet, and it just puts out these pheromones, and it calms everybody down. They get very happy and content. Look for that for dogs. There might be something like that.
Well, we did get calming pills. It's basically melatonin, but I just gave them some CBD oil, and the last time we tried, we figured out we were doing everything wrong. Okay, so the next attempt will be different because Brett was holding the dog. Brett was walking the dog because Brett's strongest and he listens to Brett. So we're like, oh, okay, that's safest. But in the dog's mind, everybody else was the enemy.
Yeah.
And he's protecting Brett. And so I said, next time I need to hold the dog and I will hold that dog. And, we got a muzzle, which is sad, but we got it. And when we put that on, I said, you need to walk one of those dogs out of the house so that he knows that you say it's okay and it's not just somebody coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But, so we figured that out.
That's good. Was Rihanna dressed like a blood clot? Giant blood clot. Maybe. I didn't watch. I didn't want to watch it. As soon as I knew who it was, I was like, I'm not watching the halftime show. Can we get Kiss on there, please? Give me a break. Kiss has never done the halftime show at the Super Bowl. They're going to be dead and gone soon.
I don't know, but the guy who sang the national anthem was freaking awesome.
Well, then there was
I was all over that. I was like,
there was the fake
what?
black national anthem.
It's awesome.
Okay, let's pop over to Rumble real quick and look at some questions.
Who was that bluesy guy? I guess everybody knew who he was except me.
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering, I Bake Me says, I was wondering if you could pray for my youngest daughter, Whitney. Her husband, Jeff, and their 6 kiddos. They've all been very sick for 2 weeks. They've had strep, tummy bugs, and then major flu bug. Well, Whitney and Jeff, they'll be fine. But go over to brooksagnew.blog/store. Click on therapeutic special reports. Get yourself, it's important to have antibiotics, but get yourself some Ivan and Roxy. You simply click right here. You get a full report on how these therapeutic products work, and they're great for things like the flu. This one especially is great for the flu. So absolutely go do that, and you will feel much, much better. If Biden could have multiple doubles, why not DeMar? Yep, that makes sense too. Kimberly says, Plackey said, Jen said, watch the sky many months ago. That's correct. And believe me, she was right on. And the sky in Texas were loaded with weird stuff. Yeah, I think that one formation was from Texas, and it wasn't Starlink. It's something else.
Well, it's funny because, like, when I ask what's coming, then I try to put my own time periods on it, like controlling them, tell me exactly, It's stupid. Human.
Yep.
But sometimes it's basically, no, everyone needs to know this. I don't care, that I'm not going to really stick to your timeline, Jennifer. It's coming. Look for this, look for that. Are God's helpers, and they will give you information to help you keep going, and they decide it would end perfect. It's actually perfect, their timing and their teaching, that when you get it or what to look out for, keep you going. So I try to be specific, but every time I'm wrong and they're right, I see it. I'm like, that's a lesson. That's some kind of lesson, isn't it? That's probably.
Okay. Nadine Korn said, hi, guys. Jen, we've been taking ivermectin paste for over a year. Did that have anything to do with Karen's heart attack? Nadine's friend, wife, Karen, had a heart attack. Was it connected to the ivermectin paste or not?
No. She
Yeah,
was stent put in or something?
Yeah. Geez, just get the pills. Don't take the horse paste.
No, that was something else aside from that. I'm not telling you what to take and when, but I just don't see the connection there.
Yeah. Hi, Mike and Jen. Michelle here. Michelle M. No one has been able to reach my brother, Steven. Is Michelle M's brother, Steven, okay?
Well, he's having a financial crisis, but as far as being alive and okay. So you might want to try to get people around the area to try and find him or see where he's at. But he's having trouble.
H. Diedrich says Feel Away works for dogs too. Okay, that's good to know. Jen, my daughter Maria is traveling to Philadelphia for work this week. Will she be safe and okay? Will Maria be okay traveling to Philadelphia this week?
hopefully she's going to experience some kind of delays or something interesting on her journey, but I don't see any tragedy or anything, if that's what you're asking. I just don't really see.
And I bake me, the Ivan dosage is based on body weight. So go find yourself a body weight chart. That will help that. Okay. This is the other thing that I was going to show you, which is the chemicals being released in the Ohio train wreck. Sorry, I forgot. We did the explosions thing, right? Well, the explosions, we were told to watch for explosions. There was this train derailment in Ohio, and there was an explosion, and all these toxic chemicals have been released into the air and into the water and the environment. Sorry, Jen, that was going to be a Gentel confirm. I think I've got a video of that too. You want to watch it? Let me get the video here.
Well, the explosion thing's going on for a while. We've had quite a few with the fires in the processing plants and all kinds of things.
But it's all there's all these explosions, and so once again, Jen, your Gentel from a couple weeks ago is all.
This hasn't been getting a lot of coverage, and the coverage that it has been getting hasn't been very good. So let's talk about the trail derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. East Palestine's about an hour north of Pittsburgh, almost halfway to Cleveland. Norfolk Southern has a rail line that goes right through town, and this derailment happened right on the edge outside of town on the border of PA and Ohio. Of the cars that crashed, 5 of them contained vinyl chloride. It's a monomer used to make PVC. The reporting on this has gotten vinyl chloride confused with polyvinyl chloride, the polymer made out of vinyl chloride. Now, the reason that this distinction is really important is vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable. Polyvinyl chloride is a plastic that's used in everything. The other thing about vinyl chloride is that it boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's shipped in its liquid form. Meaning that when these trains crashed and these started leaking, they weren't just leaking liquid, but they were spewing boiling gas. So vinyl chloride is really toxic. OSHA has the permissible limit of how much you can be exposed to it during an 8-hour shift as a 1 ppm part per million. Average over 8 hours. So prior to this, the biggest spill of this chemical was in New Jersey, where one train car and about 23,000 gallons of vinyl chloride were spilled, but it didn't catch on fire. Now, this crash in Ohio has 5 train cars. These kinds of tanker cars can carry between 25 and 33,000 gallons. Let's call it 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride. That's per train car, 5 train cars. There's maybe 1 million pounds of this toxic chemical spilling into the ground and also boiling off into the air. But then it caught on fire. I think this is where the reporting is really bad, because no one is mentioning what the byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is. Of the many byproducts of burning vinyl chloride, one of them is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really unstable and latches onto water, like just water vapor in the atmosphere, and that turns into hydrochloric acid. So right now, government officials from the railroad, both the governor of Pennsylvania and Ohio, are calling burning off the 1 million pounds of this stuff a success, but not mentioning that it means that we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of acid in the air, potentially. Now, ever since engineering school, I've studied a lot of industrial accidents. I just find it really fascinating, and organizations like the Chemical Safety Board, NTSB, and OSHA all have really good reports available to the public. I think as a designer, it's really good to learn about mistakes. When looking at these kinds of industrial disasters across time, there are a couple things that are pretty universal across all of them. 1, the responsible party, in this case, Norfolk Southern Railway, always plays down the reality of the situation. Politicians also just repeat the same lines, and then news outlets just repeat the same. So all we're hearing is the responsible party's word.
Okay, so what that means is bad stuff. So what I want to know is a couple things. Was that derailment deliberate? Was it deliberately derailed? Did somebody blow up the track or something? And or was it an accident? And no. And is all this other stuff about aliens and so forth to kind of cover up, to keep that out of the news, because it is sort of an environmental disaster. And I know I've heard animals and fish are dying, and people theoretically could be dying from all this stuff too.
It may be true and I could be wrong, but I don't think what he said is actually accurate. There would be such a... Let's go back to acid rain. I mean, isn't that what was happening when I was a kid, where we had acid rain and everybody's freaked out about that.
Never existed, but yeah.
There's something off about that whole reporting with what he says it is and what's happening. I'm not seeing it.
Okay. So interesting. A lot of preferences for T-shirt 2, some preferences for T-shirt 1. You should have a flying saucer on each side. Yeah, we're working on that. And their reel should be across the chest. Well, we'll try to get it all up higher.
I was actually seeing was like a black T-shirt with the white writing and the bulk writing and the thick writing, but then having an illustration of two of them like strategically placed right there.
There you go. Well, that's difficult to get that correct, but we'll try. We'll try to work on that.
Just saying, that's how I did.
Yeah, I'd like to get those ready for Roswell. I mean, I think we just make up 50 of them or 100 of them and see if we sell any ladies cut T-shirts, ladies cut shirts too. So obviously not for the men. Okay. Yeah, a woman's cut. That's what I had made for Christine. Actually, I had that, or not Christine, but Regina ended up winning. Actually, had that made for my co-star Maureen Ellsbury on Uncovering Aliens, and never got a chance to give it to her. So yeah, that UFO was real, says Stephanie. Hi, Steph. Yeah, what's going on with Phil? Phil's out of town. He says he's on vacation, but he's waiting for something to happen.
Since in the Virgin Islands, and he may or may not have a task to perform. But he's there with his wife. I don't know when they're getting married, but he said that was coming soon. Interesting. I don't know. It's his personal.
Maybe they use makeup to cover the tattoos. Why? Nobody covers their tattoos anymore. Unless you're in a movie and you have to have it covered.
If he doesn't want you to know his personal stuff, I'm not going to get it, or they're not going to tell me either.
Yeah. Narrow at the waist. They run very small, supposed measurements. Yeah, most every girl I've known, even if they're very well endowed, say, "Oh, I take a medium." I'm like, "Medium? Really?" Okay. My dong's bigger than yours. Lots of dong jokes in here as usual. Dr. Jekyll says, today is my birthday. Mike, will you sing me happy birthday like Mark Z does to me? No.
Please don't.
Mark do. Let Mark do that. Let Mark do that. Yeah, my tats took more than a day to heal. Certainly not just less than 24 hours later. They're not going to be healed like that. So it's two different guys. Okay, questions about whether Damar is alive or dead. Dead. Tattooed Damar is darker toned. That's also true. It's got darker skin. So not even the same skin tone. Yeah. My daughter says to make t-shirts for guys, it says, my dong is bigger than your dong with pictures of dong money. That's not a bad idea either, although not something we could sell at a UFO conference or an alien conference. By the way, what do you guys like better? UFO Expo with an X, like UFO Expo, or Alien Expo? I just would like to know what sounds better to you. What rolls off the tongue, what gets you more interested? Yeah, football cheating and penalty. Don't watch football. I can't help myself. I am addicted. We used to play football on the street until one side quit from too many skin knees. Yeah.
We did too. At least they let me play with them. My brother and all of his friends. But they're like 7 years older than me, so I always got hurt. I got like the ball to the face or something. It was fun.
Blah, blah, blah. Mahomes was working with one good leg. The Chiefs scored on every drive in the second half. Hurts didn't do this. Get a clue. Hurts outplayed Mahomes. And like Jen said, Mahomes, 2 of the touchdowns were to guys that were so wide open. Literally, I could have made those throws. And the game was tied with less than 2 minutes to play when that was called. And it decisively gave the game to the Chiefs, period. So say anything you want. It changed the outcome of the game. It wasn't a blown call either. It was a choice. So they could have just let that go like they have in almost every other situation ever. So Dr. Pruitt said the reason why the Chiefs won is because of the eagle is a symbol of the U.S. corporation. Oh. Yeah. This is total BS. Bye, Gemini 6. I'm sorry you're not here to hear the fact that your points are completely ridiculous and just not taken seriously. So, game was fixed. The outcome was fixed. Jen, my cockatiel Mikey has been wildly aggressive and tries to attack me badly. He has claimed the entire refrigerator and kitchen is his territory. Will I be able to work this out with him? Susan and Mikey. Cockatiel.
I don't know if this is like a coming of age kind of deal. Because some of these birds, I know that my stepmother had a parrot, and there was just some things that were very primal with them, like times of the day that they would squawk and, according to the jungle and stuff. I'd have them checked out. Because there is something mental going on here. That's not just...
Cockatiel is a bird, not a dog. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't.
It is a bird that she has.
Okay. Jen, I got your classes from WeTransfer. Can't wait. Thank you so much for all you do. You are welcome. Her name is Coco. Okay. Was the white supposed to be like the balloons? All the costumed sperms in white during the halftime show?
Let me ask what that's supposed to mean with all the... Was that satanic?
Of course it was.
Really, that sucks. Okay, so, you know how I know that she was the star, but it was showing how the one in the red, the evil one, rises above all the others. They're all dancing around trying to stop her, but she's still rising. But you know what? I don't even care. Nobody cares anymore. Stop putting your satanic crap on the sports games and the Super Bowl. It's like they just wait for a big audience so they can pull this. And it's just subliminally planting stuff in your mind that we don't understand consciously, but it's there.
Interesting.
That's why in this whole 17 movement, they've been telling you for a long time it's very important.
Yeah.
Future proof. It's very important right now that you pick your side.
And that
side is God's side. That's Jesus' side. That's the light. It's very important. Because if you choose, I don't care what you throw at me. You can't change me. I'm a rock with this river trying to blow me down. I choose God. I choose love and I choose God.
Anybody write a book about that, I wonder, ever?
Well, you need to read it. Yeah. I'm still mad at you.
Exactly what I wrote. Were the areas where the UFOs were shot down portals?
No. They're like taking pictures. They're mapping it. They're looking at trails, how they're getting in and out, what they're doing, how many are there, all this data, all this information.
John D'Souza talks about the deep state fake invasion. He says the crafts are man-made, but they could be real casualties. He predicts they may use one to take down a commercial airliner to create fear. It's possible. Oh, Chris Iverson says Wolvie posted a minute and 14, 10 guys, very upbeat. So Wolverine is in a good mood. Awesome. Let's do that. Thank you for informing us. I thought you couldn't stick around for the show today. Just looking for more questions.
Well, I do have to get going. I've got one at noon.
Really? You can't be with us all day?
Nope.
The U.S. had a $100,000 bill at one point many years ago. That's right. I do remember that. Okay.
And what did they do with those?
David well, they took them out of circulation. Jen, previously I asked you when my store would close escrow. Knowing your close of escrow date was the 13th, you told me somewhere in the 20s. Well, what do you know? My escrow just got pushed back to after the 20th. Good. See, it's good and stuff like that. All right.
Personal things are much easier than world events.
Yeah.
So
no kidding.
Be kind.
Well, there's so many fewer people involved, right? There's so many fewer people
Yeah.
involved in all the choices that go into it.
At least we got something to do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Alien Expo. Alien Expo. It's Alien Expo. Alien Depot. I don't think so. Alien Expo. I agree. I'm going to try to get Tom Reed to change everything to Alien Expo. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to check Jen out over at jenniferflaw.com, on YouTube, Jennifer Flaw Dorian, and she is Philosophy on Telegram, and she has her chat room over there. Don't forget to pop over and send me some love if you'd like at $ Mike Mbara33 on Cash App and Zelle MBARA33 at msn.com. We love you. Great download of information today. We are in an interesting time, interesting week. I need to get some water. I got dry mouth. Jen, anything else before we head out for our marvelous Monday?
Nope, that's about it.
That's about it.
Have a
You
good
got
day.
a lot of stuff today, a lot of interesting, exciting things happening. Stay together. Stay with us. Don't fall off. The train is almost in the station. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Say bye, Jen.
Bye.